Hello and welcome to News 9. I'm Nishchita, and first up, Infosys, India's poster boy in the IT sector, has a new CEO. The bushy-eyed PhD from Stanford University, Vishal Sikka, is not a newcomer to the world of IT, having been part of the management committee at German enterprise software giant SAP. Here's a report.
The announcement is an extremely significant development for the Bengaluru-based company, which has till date relied on its promoters for its essential management bandwidth. Vishal Sikka, a product of Vadodara's MS University, was the Chief Technology Officer at SAP, joining the German giant in 2002. However, he was an unfortunate victim of management crossfight. He is the brain behind SAP's data crunching technology product called HANA. Vishal Sikka, who will be joining Infosys effective August 1st this year, will also break with tradition, as he would be based out of California and not Bengaluru.
When Mr. Kamath and Mr. Murthy asked me to become the next leader of Infosys, I think it is fair to say that it was a matter of tremendous pride and honor to accept that. To be the leader of an iconic company, a company that has been built by pioneers, many of whom are here in the room right now, and has put India on the map of the digital world. It's a matter of tremendous pride and real privilege. So I am very happy, humbled and privileged to take on this responsibility.
The announcement also came a mere 48 hours before the company's annual general meeting, or AGM, is due to be held in the Silicon City. The Infosys board also elevated 12 senior officials as executive vice president, besides elevating UB Praveen Rao as the new chief operating officer, or COO. Other key developments include the retirement of iconic founder N.R. Narayana Murthy and his son Rohan Murthy, effective from June 14th. Incumbent CEO and MD SD Shubhalal is due to also demit office effectively July this year. The decision to look for a non-promoter CEO gained traction about 2 months ago, and a host of names were being tossed around, but the nomination committee of Infosys, which included ICICI Bank Chairman K.V. Kamath and Biocon CMD Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, finally chose Sikka. Kamath also noted that the appointment of Sikka was one of the fastest, taking only about 60 days for a final decision.
I would be remiss if I do not thank Mr. Murthy to agreeing to the board's request last year to come and join the company and lead it in what were challenging times. And again, I have to thank him for what he's been able to do with the company in this very short period of time. And I would also thank him for facilitating this process by which we now have a new leader in place.
Sikka's formal announcement had some moments of humor, with NRN at one point suggesting that the new CFO and MD, before correcting himself. He later on clarified that Rajiv Bansal, the incumbent CFO's job, was safe, and that he actually referred to Sikka, the new CEO.
I am the son of a teacher, and in our family, the highest honor is reserved for scholars. If there's only one chair, if there's a billionaire, if there's the most powerful officer, and if there's a scholar, that chair is first given to the scholar. Therefore, Vishal is something special to me. He is a PhD in computer science from Stanford. Getting a computer science degree from a university like Stanford is perhaps the highest recognition you can get as an intellectual. Therefore, I think I am so honored, I am so pleased that Vishal has agreed to join Infosys as the CEO.
Infosys has been facing a lot of rough weather, with a series of top-level exits, with the latest being that of its president, B.G. Srinivas. On Thursday, the Infosys stock rose over 3% in intra-day trade, but it ended lower 0.57% at 3,175 rupees, with 2.6 million shares changing hands on the NSE. Many of the brokerages are extremely bullish appointment. While Bank of America Merrill Lynch has a buy on the Infosys stock with a 12-month target of 3,750 rupees, JP Morgan has an overweight with a 12-month target of 4,000 rupees. A News9 report.
And well, the list of MLCs and Rajya Sabha members was released today by the Assembly Secretary. Here is who made it to the key positions.
4 candidates elected unopposed to Rajya Sabha. After much deliberation, Karnataka Assembly Secretary P. Om Prakash today announced that 4 candidates had been elected unopposed to the Rajya Sabha. Ignoring the claim of former External Affairs Minister S.M. Krishna for renomination, Congress had earlier chosen Rajiv Gowda, a professor at the Indian Institute of Management, to be nominated instead. Rajiv Gowda was an aspirant of Bangalore North Lok Sabha seat in the recently concluded polls but had failed to get the ticket. This seems like the party's way of compensating. BJP's Prabhakar Kore and JDS's Kupendra Reddy also made it to the upper house of parliament, as only 4 candidates were left in the fray for an equal number of seats. 7 MLCs elected unopposed. Apart from Rajya Sabha members, the list of 7 MLCs who were elected unopposed were announced today. KPCC President G. Parmeshwar and 3 other members of the KPCC were elected unopposed to the Legislative Council. Former Deputy CM K.S. Ishwarappa, JDS candidate Sarvana, and independent candidate Mallikarjun too have been elected unopposed as MLCs. Among the elected representatives, the Congress has managed to secure a lion's share with 4 MLC and 2 Rajya Sabha seats. Hope this provides some consolation after the recent dropping in the Lok Sabha polls. A News9 report.
Well, he was touted to be the super cop. He was to advise the Chief Minister on security aspects as well. But all of a sudden, something changed Kempaya's destiny. Here's the report. Lokayukta charge-sheeted him for corruption. He allegedly submitted a bogus caste certificate. He's accused of professional misconduct. And then he was expected to be CM security advisor. But 5 days later, Kempaya's fortunes have changed. Yes, IPS officer Kempaya will not be appointed as the security advisor to the Chief Minister. This was announced by none other than Siddaramaiah himself. Siddaramaiah further added that Kempaya's appointment was a figment of media's imagination.
ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಸುದ್ದಿನ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಸುದ್ದಿ ತಗೊಬಂದು ಕೆಂಪಯ್ಯನವ್ರು ಮಾಡಿರಂತೆ ತಿಮ್ಮಯ್ಯನ್ ಮಾಡಿರಂತೆ
ಗೃಹ ಸಚಿವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಸರ್ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು
ಇಲ್ಲ 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 ಯಾವುದು ಆ ಪ್ರಪೋಸಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಬಹಳ ಸುಳ್ಳುಗಳು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ
But one knows that is not the complete truth. Kempaya has long been the trusted lieutenant of Siddaramaiah as far as police matters are concerned. It's also known that Kempaya, without official status, has been functioning as the CM's advisor. Even Home Minister K.J. George had backed the Chief Minister's decision, stating it was Siddaramaiah's prerogative. However, that was not the case with Energy Minister D.K. Shivakumar and Law Minister T.B. Jayachandra. On learning of Siddaramaiah's special interest in Kempaya, there was strong resentment within the party. So much so that some leaders even wrote a letter to the Congress's Karnataka in charge Digvijaya Singh over the growing disappointment. This divide within the party made headlines on all channels. But now Siddaramaiah says it's a figment of media's imagination. What are you trying to hush up, Mr. Chief Minister? Is it your own setback? A News9 report.